heard on his kids. To start, a black hole is out. It's the
the next day, and I'm wagging school up normal.
Now, add to this the fact that astronomers have now found that there's such a thing as wandering black holes.
Oh, no.
That's right.
Think about it. The only person that can beat your personal best is you. So go to the edge of your comfort zone and keep on going. Live your way.
These terrifying vortexes, straight out of the interstellar realm, can travel and suck up anything that gets in their way at a speed of, get this, 5 million kilometers per hour.
We're done.
That's like a space tornado on steroids.
Oh my god, we're done. If that thing ever travels near us, we're done. In like a second, I'm telling you. I do not like black holes. And it's like, oh yeah, it just travels. It travels really fast and it can suck things up really fast. But you know, there's no need to worry, right? God, that's what he needs to say to us. He needs to reassure us that we're not going to die from these super massive traveling black holes.
And yeah, I fucked my girlfriend.
Oh my god, I see what that is. That's someone's thigh and a pole right through. Oh my god, they're so lucky because that could have like hit. You got a big artery in your leg. It's called the femoral artery. Is that one? Is that a thing? It seems right in my head, but most things seem right in my head. Anyway, they're lucky they didn't die, because some people, you cut your thigh and you're a goner, R.I.P. Like, sucks. You're not saving that with a belt.
2015, a diver in Arizona found what appeared to be the skeletons of two people. He phoned the police, who dived down and investigated the scene. They did indeed find two skeletons who were sitting down on lawn chairs and appeared to be having some kind of a tea party. While they looked very realistic from afar, they were actually plastic. Somebody had placed these skeletons there a year prior and put in quite a lot of effort to strap them down and keep them in place. This is actually somewhat of a trend. Another video taken in Lake Mead shows a similar scene, with skeletons wearing pirate hats and sunglasses.
I've seen this. I haven't seen the first one. I was going to say this is like one of those instances where you can talk to the police about the remains you found in the water, but they're fake. I just love that they were like, the two skeletons were on lawn chairs having a tea party. But I don't think they're a tea party, are they? Also, they're fake, so it's fine. No need to worry. I have seen a picture of a fake skeleton underwater, or maybe it was a statue and someone put Jason Voorhees mask on it.
A husband and wife, faced with eviction from their home by their bank, were digging through boxes as they prepared to turn the home over to the bank and found the key to paying off their debts and keeping their home. A 1938 Action Comics #1 Superman comic, worth an estimated $1.5 million, had been tucked amongst 50 boxes of worthless comics stored in the attic. Considered the holy grail of comic book collecting, they have no idea how long the comic had been in the attic, but the house has been in the family for a long time.
Wow, yeah, another one where it's like, I guess it's kind of wild how much money that can fetch. You know, life altering money. Is the comic cursed? Did the person die when under those stock image boxes? Is that a crushed human skeleton under there? Because otherwise, it's just kind of like a cool little, like, hey, these guys, you know, rags to riches. They were poor and now they're not because they found a cool old comic book.
Actually, the darkest planet that NASA has ever discovered. It sits about 750 light years away in the constellation of Draco, orbiting the catchily named star GSC 0354902A11, also known as Kepler-1 to its friends. It's a gas giant with a similar composition to Jupiter and orbits Kepler-1 at a relatively intimate 5 million kilometers. TRES-2b reflects less than 1% of all light that hits it, which is less than coal or black acrylic paint. Adding to its spookiness, it's actually a mystery as to why the planet is so damn dark. One potential explanation is that the gases that make up its surface, vaporized sodium, potassium, or gaseous titanium oxide, absorb all the light.
That's pretty cool. That's not scary. That's cool. Just like a super dark, pitch black planet that no one knows anything about. That's cool. I'm here for it. As long as it's several light years away and, you know, poses no threat to Earth, then that's fine. It's just chilling. Why are we judging it on its color? Huh? People may be surprised to know that I'm not a doctor, even though I seem so smart. I can't read x-rays. I don't know where things are. I assume this is another one that's kind of rare, judging by the bone structure, and it looks like a cellular device has been shoved up the rear. It's probably taken in prison, a prison X-ray, shoving that cell phone up there. That's how they get the contraband through the and then they poop it out, and then they make their phone calls.
Discovery, the Yonaguni Monument. The scientific community made a fuss around this discovery, and the years of research had begun. As it always is in the scientific field, experts immediately assumed two opposing positions. Some considered the monument to be a man-made object, others a geological one. In 1992, a group under the leadership of Professor Masaki Kimura from the University of Okinawa began many years of diving activity, followed by research. He collected information over a period of 15 years and eventually declared the mysterious underwater object was human-made. He told that his team discovered many carvings of plants, animals, and even people. In addition, remnants of an infrastructure such as wells and mines were discovered in the megalith.
This was one of those videos where I just got lost about 5 seconds into it, and then I just never tried to get back on board. I would just let it was just going in and out my head, my ears. What I do understand though is that they have found a man-made formation in the ocean from many years ago. How it got there, they do not know. But there were people on this planet for a very long time.
And it found its way into the hands of historians. But our story doesn't end there. Oh no, there's another twist ahead. A forensic pathologist studied the skull and is convinced that the skull in the attic belonged to French monarch Henry
Let's have
IV.
another
Yeah,
drink.
no, finding an ancient skull in your attic would probably be a little upsetting, you know.
Not sure. I don't think so. There's just a big bunch of super galactic words in there that I don't understand. But that's cool. What the looks like a worm. It might be a worm. Is that a worm? Because that side looks different to the front. It looks like something's looping inside of his brain. It's bent a bit. It could be a worm, or it could be something sharp. It looks like a worm. It's wiggled its way inside of this person's brain. Oh, the idea of having anything living inside of my body. Oh, that's what you do when you give birth. Like, I could have a baby. I just don't want to house a worm inside of my body. That's disgusting. Ugh.
The ocean floor off the Lanzarote Island is strewn with strange statues. Here is a scary crowd of people with empty eyes who are going in an unknown direction. And near it is a ring several feet in diameter consisting of human bodies. What is it? Traces of a sunken
Oh
civilization?
no, this one I think, we've talked about this before on a different channel, but this is like, some people genuinely have art installations in the ocean, and I find it very baffling. It's like, why? Because no one really is going to see it, only divers. But there are cases of sunken cities or places that are now flooded and stuff like this is underwater. I think though this was put there intentionally. But why you would think, oh, I'm going to work years and years on this amazing project, but I'm going to put it under the sea. People will see it when they need to. I don't know. But maybe this was a sunken situation. I can neither confirm nor deny, but I'm assuming it was placed there intentionally. I'm pretty sure.
Where you go?
Donut enter.
Keen to continue their exploration, the YouTuber and his companion decide to enter the house via a broken garage door. Inside, the floor is littered with dirt and debris. They make their way down some stairs where they come across what at first appears to be an old uncovered vent.
Oh my god.
However, when the explorers look inside, they notice that there are actually several light fixtures that lead off into the darkness, suggesting that it could possibly be some sort of secret tunnel.
That's not an attic. You lied to me. You said they went downstairs. Attics aren't downstairs. Attics are upstairs. They're up there where all the skeletons are kept and all the mice and squirrels run around. So that is pretty freaky. You gotta wonder if there's like a bootlegging operation here. Maybe they had some, human sacrifices kept in cold storage. Who knows? If you're gonna take the time to install lights in a secret passage, it's probably one that you use quite often, wouldn't you think? So what was at the end of that hallway that this person had to crawl through in the relatively soft light?
This super-Earth, aptly named 55 Cancri E, and some 40 light years away from Earth, is twice the size of our planet in radius, but has one side permanently facing its star. This means that on this planet, you have to travel to the other side to get a good night's sleep. The disturbing part about it is that on the day side, temperatures reach 4,400 degrees Fahrenheit, and though the night side is about half that, it's still an extremely hot planet in which there's no atmosphere or wind to regulate temperature.
Well, good thing we're not living there, because we would die. So, that means nothing to us. Literally. It's pretty, I find it interesting. Okay? Again, as long as it doesn't pose a threat and it's far, far away and it's doing nothing, it's just chilling in its little orbit, then that's cool. You know, you guys can go investigate it. Also, I find it really cool how they, have the ability to, like, check out what's out there, like, 4 billion light years away and stuff. Don't know how they do it, but they do. Okay? That's magic, I'm telling you right there. That is magic. How do they do it? I don't know. I really don't know. Little microscope? Little sonar technology? I sound stupid, yeah. Okay. I can't tell what that is. It looks like another bone inside. Like something's broken and come loose and is now floating around inside the pelvic region. That's the only appropriate way I can call it. Yeah, it looks like a bone, an extra bone floating around. Oh, is that No, that's not what that looks like. Or, I don't know. These don't make sense. I am not a doctor. That also doesn't even look human. Maybe it's an animal. Look at the little things coming down. I don't know. That's a bone. Someone's broken something. It's floating around in their pelvic region, and they're probably in a lot of pain.
Centuries. This picture here has stumped experts, animal researchers, and even the locals, as this super long snake is apparently, quote, as long as a school bus. Unofficially named the Ogopongo, this supposed first sighting of the ever-evasive animal occurred all the way back in 1872, which, for all of our historians in the crowd, is about 7 years earlier than the first reported sighting of the legendary Loch Ness Monster. The indigenous people of Canada called this creature that they feared simply Lake Demon, and in some respects even regard itself as Canada's very own version of the Loch Ness.
I never believed this stuff. Like, we all know Nessie wasn't real. It was confirmed. The person that took the picture, or someone came forward and said they faked it. It's fine. We know Loch Ness Monster isn't real simply because it's not that large a body of water. We would have seen it many times by now, especially these days, This one is for sure not real. I mean, that picture does not look like a snake thing to me. It looks like tires. Or am I crazy? It looks like tires.
See, skeptics.
Outside of a tire sticking up.
What there? What?
I don't know why they'd be there, but that's what it looks like to me. Like, when you view it, it's like we have so much technology now.
Prove to
People
them
are always in these bodies
there
of
is
water. You would
demons
see
and
it.
devils.
If this was a real thing, you would see it, right?
When he puts the camera through the hole,
And I take over the well with my dad.
glowing eyes, looking out
All the
from
men
darkness.
will disappear. All the girls
The
will
space
be
is too
mine.
dark to capture anything else, but the man is still shaken. He still believes it's an animal, however, and places the camera in the hole again for a better look.
It's gotta be, right?
This time, it captures some eerie audio. As he films the creature, the camera picks up the sound of high-pitched laughter.
For a cat, though. The high-pitched laughter. One more time, are you sure he picked that up on the camera? It wasn't added afterwards.
Video, seemingly
We
what
have
appears
another
to be
joint.
a rusted and waterlogged sculpture of the Xenomorph.
Oh my God.
The titular horrifying entity that features in Ridley Scott's Alien franchise. It goes without saying, but sculptors and artists across the planet have had a particular habit of installing their work at the bottom
See?
of the sea.
Exactly what I
only to be
said.
left behind in obscurity for terrified scuba divers to find on their travels. Although the artists believe this particular piece remains anonymous, countless scuba divers have since submerged themselves off the Russian coast to gaze at its mysterious design.
Exactly what I said. He confirmed it. Artists are putting their works at the bottom of the ocean simply for scuba divers. How many scuba divers do they think are down there? Like, not that many. Like, hardly anyone's going to see it. I mean, kind of cool. Like, you're going to be more discussed than other artists. It's a good way to get known because the people are going to be like, what the is the Xenomorph from Alien doing at the bottom of the ocean? And then you kind of get known. But this artist doesn't even want to come forward and claim it. This is really cool. This is the xenomorph, and it's terrifying.
At around 330 million light years across, it represents around 0.27% of the observable universe, and is an incredibly large region of space, often referred to as a supervoid. It's around 700 million light years away from us, and is remarkably empty. Current estimates suggest it only has around 6...
Mods you hoped the FBI would never find on your hard drive. Last time we covered dragon copulation, so it's pretty safe to say that nobody's showing up for this one. But the show must go on for science and nothing else. First up, we have the nymph girls of Skyrim. Mod that adds 5 new nymph races. Now, what is a nymph? A mythological spirit of nature imagined as a beautiful maiden inhabiting rivers, woods, or other locations. Not to be confused with nymph. Oh, maniac. Although you might as well, look at what you're downloading. And so you can choose between a beast, a blended, a desert, a night, or a wood nymph. And so I chose the wood because I felt like that was most me. I almost never wear clothing, and I definitely have a lot of wood, especially filming these videos. Okay, I'm sorry guys. Now, as a nymph, I was now a magical creature, which meant that steel or iron couldn't pierce me. Now, you might think that's bullshit, but he's written a lore post about the size of a college thesis explaining the reasoning.
Shit.
Similar to the Ansari from the Mass Effect series, another all-female fictional species, a nymph, but integrates some characters distribution as indigenous racial populations. The phenotypic ratio proposed here is that 95% points of the fused characteristics such that the nymph resembles none specifically. In other words, this is lore-friendly and immersive. And go yourself. Being a nymph also means you have a strong connection with nature, and unfortunately, covering your body weakens that connection. And so, unfortunately, if you want to unlock the true potential of your race, you're gonna have to take off your clothes. And oh, mother God, it's so shiny and wet. What is this new skin technology? Has Skyrim gone too far? The normals are layered with a transparent, detailed map of the underlying diffuse skin texture to allow light and shadow based on the texture and gives them a very lifelike appearance in almost any lighting. Jesus Christ, I don't think even in 2019 we even have a game that has skin that looks this realistic. Nymphs also enjoy natural products, organic whole grain nonsense. Dirt is healthy. More words. Just like a millennial. This also means that instead of getting 1 thistle, you'll now get 3. And that also means instead of potions lasting only 60 seconds, you'll get 90. Enchantments you weave are 15% more potent, but only if you are naked. That's the only way. It's only lore friendly. Now, on top of that, he's also added a new follower of each type of nymph. This includes Arborea. She looks like she's killed lots of babies. Likai, who looks like every girl at a Halloween party. Yulia, whose body is missing. Kaylee, Sin, and Mistra. All of them, again, have their own unique ability and a body that's slightly too realistic, detailed, and customized. They're like the Avengers, if the Avengers were nymphomaniacs. Now, coincidentally, or not so coincidentally, I also found a mod called Guards of Morality. Mod that would apparently cause guards to whip you if they saw you nude. So, I stepped in front of a guard nude. Nothing was happening, but then all of a sudden... I think something had broke. Lots of things had just broke. Another day in the life of MXR's Skyrim. Wait a minute, I spoke to some... Oh! Come on! Why? Somebody punish my bare ass, please. Anyways, I restarted my game and he pulled out something a lot stiffer than I expected. That's what she said. Sorry. All of a sudden, that comment I remember reading made a lot of sense. The guard somehow managed to stab me in the back with a whip and kill me, and resurrecting my character crashed me. Well, that's a few hours of gameplay gone. The thing is, it does no damage. The sheathing is really weird. The lightning speed at which they leave and return is disturbing, and they essentially don't stop unless you put on your clothes. And I also sense discrimination. Why is my follower not being whipped? And if we were being realistic, wouldn't the guards just arrest you instead of whip you? I guess that's just not kinky enough for the users of Lover's Lab. Now, because the rest of this episode is going to be incredibly dark and twisted, I thought I would find something more lighthearted. That way you can feel good about yourself for at least 1 minute before I ruin your life forever. I'm kidding, it's not that bad. Or is it? Anyway, this is Vanilla Choker and earrings. As you know, Skyrim only offers amulets for all the gods. But times have changed. The modern thoughts of today no longer wear necklaces or amulets. They now wear something smaller, tighter, and higher up. And you know what that means. Tell me, because I have no idea. All I know is that there are now more choices to lore-friendly accessorize your character. I mean, there are tons of necklace mods and they all look amazing, but none of them are chokers, and none of them use direct vanilla assets, making them look like they belong in Skyrim. They're not the highest resolution, but when do you ever zoom up like I do? From afar, they look fantastic, and it's cool seeing a modern trend being adapted into our favorite RPG. And is it lore-friendly? Of course it is. Todd Howard famously wrote in Book 2, "The women of Skyrim shall wear chokers." And that is completely accurate. I am a lore expert. Moving on. You ever walk into a local tavern and say to yourself, I'm the hottest shit in this universe? I mean, Hulda's pretty hot, but look at my tits! Do you know how much time I spend customizing them at night? Way too much. Why is nobody paying attention to me? Why do I have to start every conversation? That's not immersive. I'm a 10 out of 10 girl. People should be worshipping the ground I walk on. But why doesn't it have its own tree of magic? Why is it always backstage to conjuration? It's time for some quality, my friends. With the dark arts, Mother and the Vermis Mysteries. A dark grimoire which serves as a teacher and mentor to new necromancers, and as a weapon to beat the absolute fuck out of people, and as a shield to protect your life and shit. Now, as a novice necromancer, you get something called corpse preparation, which allows you to dissect corpses to allow you to study them, view their stats. And this bandit marauder has negative 8,195 health. You can even decapitate them in case rival necros are trying to mance your necros. You can harvest their organs, which you can use later on to buff them at higher levels of necromancy. Check it out, I just gave my undead chicken a ghost buff. You can also store them and summon them later on. This is really convenient for having an army of undead chickens in your back pocket. Of course, you're also limited by how much mana you have. Every 100 you have allows you to summon one extra more at a time. That is a sentence. And in Apprentice Necromancy, they start saying things like, "Which role would you like me to assume, Master?" I definitely hear that a lot. From my chickens. My chickens. And lines like, "What do you want me to do, Daddy? I mean, my lord. At this point, they'll even let you touch their breasts. Fucking slut. You can even manage their equipment, and even get them all to focus on a single target. Fuck. That was the whole reason why I built this army of undead chicken. You can even bring them back as ghosts instead. Not sure why you do that, just makes it harder for you to see them, but okay. And in case you're wondering why they all look like giant clouds of fart gas, that's because I set my affinity to poison. If you set it to frost, you'll get different effects for all of your undead. And at higher levels, you can even resurrect without using a soul. So you'll essentially be walking around with an undead army of your choice, geared up to your choice, buffed with your choice, command them to attack a single target, resurrect them when they die, add them to the army, rinse, repeat. What a time. That's not how it works. Or the normal response, where you get enslaved and you put a bag on your head, and boom, you are no longer the Dragonborn. And then you can go around asking people if they want to be friends with twins. Look, this is really fucking immersive, okay? Why is it that we never get prison mates? This model added a decrepit prisoner and a dark prisoner. Now, he'll try and pick a fight with you, and if you defeat him, which is very difficult, you can go ahead and tell the decrepit prisoner that it's okay now. The bullying is over. You don't have to fear for dropping your soap. I will be your soap. And it's just an all-around very feel-good interaction in the world of Skyrim. That's a good mix-up from the ordinary prison scenario. And what about Rolf Stonefist constantly yelling out racist remarks in the great quarters of Windhelm?
We ought to dig a big hole for all them dark elves and Argonians.
Why can't you stop him in other ways rather than beating him up? You can now talk to him and try and defend Suvaris, which has been harassing in the streets. I mean, this racist scum really needs to get get what's coming to him. But there's also lots of drama. In fact, defending Suvaris actually got more angry racist Nords on her back. I said I was sorry, and she was very nice about it. I see that you didn't want anything bad, but you added a lot of pain and humiliations in my life to properly apologize. Lick my butt. What kind of a fucking demand is that? God, that is disgusting. How could you possibly think? Yes. Yes, I will. And have you ever thought about how ridiculously simple marriage works in Skyrim? Why is it that you never get registered in any of the cities you go to? Well, now you can. Go to Jarl Balgruff after your wedding and you can get him to register you. I will do, but I will take advantage of the rights of the first knights. Go to Breezeholm, right? And wait for me there. Excuse me, what? No, you don't. Some of the dialogue is a little bit weird, but just ignore that. And the Greybeards have years and years of learning shouts. How come they've never tried to teach you more? Well, now you can do that. How can I study shouts even better? Let me think. Yes, there is a special technique. You need to physically expand your mouth. Gee, thanks, Arngir. I really appreciate you doing this with me, man. Arngir, what are you doing? And there's well over a dozen of these interactions with different branching dialogue choices that add immersion and nothing else. Thank you so much for watching. There's an uncensored version on Patreon. Hope you enjoyed those mods.
Pardon me.
RICQ roadside assistance is trusted for all rescues. So Skyrim is barely an RPG. Maybe back in the day it was, but some of those elements have been compromised. Today, we're gonna make the ultimate RPG Skyrim, bringing in those elements that we all know and love from our favorite RPGs to make Skyrim an actual RPG. Like AFK Arena and
Yeah, whatever. Fuck you. No one cares.
I'm kidding. I mean, the game's literally called...
No one cares.
There's a link down below. Thank you for sponsoring this video, AFK Arena. First, we have quite simply main menu. You know, for a game that's predicated on replayability and playing from different perspectives, classes, and decisions, why are there no character slots? Of all the games that should not have character slots, Skyrim should be the last. They done fucked up, and they know it because it's included in Special Edition and Fallout 4. This mod brings it to Skyrim Legendary Edition, allowing you to sort by character and even displaying additional information like character level and location, so that I can easily find out that Asa is at Diebeth and that Lisa's level 14 and at because if you're gonna call yourself a role-playing game, I better not have to scroll through thousands of save games just to find the right character. Another major component of RPGs is being wherever you want to be, starting wherever you want to start, and just in general doing whatever the fuck you want to do. And this mod embodies doing whatever the fuck you want to do, and it's called the Realm of Lorkhan. Freeform Alternate Start. This is a fresh out the oven alternate start mod that's not live another life, because let's be honest, we're probably already tired of hearing about it, and it gives you an unprecedented amount of freedom to start your character and a fantastical world space that you'd only find in an RPG. Also, you start out naked, which is very cool if you have certain mods. And her hands are tied behind her back, and that's really fucking kinky. And Lorkhan, if you don't know, is essentially in the Elder Scrolls lore god. This is his realm, and this is where he created you, which is
what are you pretty much? Are you a demon or a devil or human?
What's different about this and other
like a
alternate start mods is that you can literally do
non-magical
anything you
being
want,
or
except
whatever?
apparently kill these guys.
What are you
because they're
basically?
invincible. God damn it, why didn't you tell me that sooner?
I'm
You
just a
can't kill everybody
human.
else, though. And what I mean by that is you can start
I
out
heard
as
you're the
powerful as
devil's
you want or
son.
as weak as you want. Head to the
Yeah.
armory and pick up a Daedric mace for all you want.
Cool, that's
Still
hot.
too weak for you, pick up a shield of Lorkhan and battle axe of
I can
Lorkhan.
smell some
Literally
weed. Can
become
I
a
have
barbarian
some?
with physical damage resistance, regenerate health
Sure.
faster, regenerate health during combat, and then be an archer with additional slow
You're
time when aiming, attacking 10% faster, bows doing 10% more damage. At
Now
the
let's
same
not
time,
kill.
a barbarian archer,
Sure.
mage, whatever the you want. On the contrary, if you're looking for a challenge,
What's your
give yourself
name?
crippling curses, like Curse of the Slow Learner, which gives you minus 33% skill experience gain, or Curse of Generosity, where you sell your items for half of their regular amount. You can loot as many
Jade.
spells as you want,
What's
like
yours?
this one.
Isaac. How old are you,
Or
Jade?
loot none at all, and start with absolutely nothing, not even
15
flames or
years
heal.
old.
Give yourself a blessing of your choice,
Cool.
or not. give yourself a standing stone, or not. Get as much alcohol as you want from the refilling cask of mead. Practice pickpocketing and start with 3.
8 years old. I go to
Start with bees in your inventory
human,
or not. And once you're all done, you can activate a stone and start anywhere
human
from
middle
the
school
Riften
basically.
Forest to Black
Good.
Ridge. And that, my friends, level of freedom and choice that you won't even find in most RPGs. Now that we have a unique character with a unique start and the ability to find said character in our menus, we can now give her a voice set using player voice sets. Simply open up the MCM and click plug in active. Okay, I'll start, but leave the menu. I'm not gonna start while you watch. And then choose your voice. Yes, you can actually choose a male voice as a female. Maybe be a transgender. Much RPG, such woke wow. Closing the menu gives you a quick sample of what your character might sound like. I'm going to kill you. And now your character will actually talk.
Gold? Silver? Gems, maybe? Only one way to find out.
When things happen, and when you enter combat, you won't be slaying people like some kind of silent psycho. But MXR, talking characters is the antithesis of roleplay and imagination.
Come on, let's see what you're made of.
That's what ruined Fallout for me. Fuck you, Nora. You know what? You actually might be right about that one. Congratulations.
Give up while you still can.
But I'm fine. I'm really trying to do as much options as possible. Now you can hear your character and really get into that RPG. It's time to hear your character in her own head, using the mod Your Own Thoughts. The mod that changes all these second-person notifications to first person. For example, fast travel to Dragon's Reach is now am I ready to travel to Dragon's Reach? Right, it's no longer the game asking you, it's you asking yourself. From do you want to move your marker, remove it, to what should I do with this marker? From the game telling me what I can and cannot do to myself telling my grammar really sucks. And other small things like requires key this lock requires a key, as if I'm talking to myself. And even quick saving, like I don't know what the quick saving is. I'm a talking cat person from elsewhere. I don't know what that is. Progress quickly scroll with yes, I am so fucking immersed right now. Finish and name your character. What's a character? I'm not a character. What is this, novel or video game? I am a lizard person from something marsh, Black Marsh. I know my shit. Is this who I want to be? I ask that to myself every day as a big-tittied mod reviewer. Now that we can choose who we want to be, ask if this is what we want to be, now it's time to talk to other people and have the freedom to say and do whatever we want, using the mod Immersive Speechcraft, a mod that gives you almost a dozen additional dialogue options. Lovely weather we're having.
There we go.
Even pranks like your boots are untied. Got him. Got him. And even an option I've never seen before. Because I was holding a bee from the realm of Lorcan, I can tell Sadia that there's a bee in your armor. Oh my god. I'm so sorry. Ouch. Ow. No, this is not what I fucking want.
Not quite good enough, are you?
Wow, that is so fucking next level RPG. I walked in and set a bee on a girl and murdered her. That's not role playing. I don't know what is. You can even give your wife who gifts. Will you sleep with me? Will you sleep with me now, please? Please? Isolde? Isolde, don't leave. Don't leave! It's my fault. You can even give them commands, although I'm not exactly sure what the point of that is because they never do anything for anyone.
Not for you. Not for anyone.
I guess you could get them to stand in traps, which is pretty fucked up to be honest. You could even start a fight. Your mother's a worker. Really? Really gonna stab me over that? You can even rob guards in broad daylight. Hand over your valuables now. Well, I'm probably dead, but that is role-playing. I'm dying for role-playing! Or steal from the rich 1% of Skyrim, such as Nazim. And what are you gonna do about it, huh? Oh, he's going for the axe. Guards, there's trouble! Oh, yeah, that's right, Nazim. Yeah, that's right. Fucking run, you... Oh, come on. Wow, that's the most immersive thing I've ever seen in my life. You can even ask your one-itis to assist you. Isolde, that's the wrong way. Even the shopkeeper. In a true role-playing game, why shouldn't you be able to ask for the assistance of others? It's only realistic. What shopkeeper would stand idly by? The only logical thing to do is assist the mugger in killing the guy that got mugged. Thank you very much. Very immersive. I can convince the grandma and my crush to kill a member of the bourgeoisie. That's role-playing, fellas. Jokes aside, though, all of this is dependent on your speech skill. So unless you're at 100 speech, most of this won't actually happen. As a level 1, you're probably not going to be able to convince the owner of a shop to kill the person you just mugged in public, in broad daylight, in front of the guards. This mod does have a little bit of quirks, but overall the idea is pretty cool. You should be able to say basically whatever you want to say to anybody if you wanted to in a role-playing game. And since you're going to be talking to a lot of people, why not maximize the role-playability of your UI using the mod Easy to See dialogue menu? The mod that show per line and more lines in general, while highlighting the one you're currently selecting in yellow. And rather than scrolling and choosing the wrong dialogue option, as we all have probably experienced before in Skyrim, since it's kind of buggy, you can even just use the page up and page down keys without ever having to move your mouse. You can even change the font in real time, from Oblivion to Morrowind to Viking, but everybody knows the real choice is Daedric. If you can't read that, then you're not a true Elder Scrolls fan. Please get on my level. I have almost 4,000 hours in Skyrim, and I'm highly proficient in Daedric and even the dragon language, so you. And everything is customizable, even the subtitles. Right? My personal favorite settings, which obviously is only usable by true fans of the Elder Scrolls, get on my level, has everything in Daedric. Giant pink subtitles, name on the side red, vertical shadows,
and in heaven when I take over heaven, and on earth.
Oh wait, yeah, the tab is still there. At least it's in Daedric. And the mod just puts more emphasis on dialogue, which is obviously a huge
You can be one of my queens.
You know it's serious when he puts the time in the top right corner, just so you're aware of how much time you're wasting contemplating the dialogue options, which is obviously great for hardcore RPGs players such as I, who contemplate all the possible ramifications and moral dilemmas each option provides. Now, what about combat? Besides having really good combat, most RPGs allow you to gauge the power level of NPCs and enemies, something that Skyrim doesn't really do. You kind of just have to guess what level people are and hope for the best. And that's why I got display enemy level, a mod that'll hopefully dissuade me from breaking the law in the future. Holy shit, I'm level 1 and they're level 20. Sif, though, is definitely the weakest leader of Skyrim. And if I ever get the opportunity to assassinate one of them, this mod will allow me to make an informed decision. Ever wonder who the most powerful Thomas the Tank Engine train is? Perseus got 9 to 5, but Gordon, oh my god, Gordon, Jesus Christ, 1955? Whoa, apparently Red Thomas is 3071, which is officially the highest HP I've ever seen in Skyrim. Even the Ebony Warrior at level 80 is no match for Red Thomas, and that's very useful information to know. Another massive component of RPGs is being able to do whatever you want, whenever you want, without having to follow a specific path.
My crib,
if I want to
your
fight
crib.
the Ebony Warrior at level 1, I should be able to fight the Ebony Warrior at level 1. I don't need no game telling me when I need to do shit. That's why I like RPGs. And so I got the mod Timing is
My
Everything,
crib.
or Timing is Nothing,
Cool.
right? And so I set the Ebony
My
Warrior
parents are out on a vacation, they left me by
this little
myself.
bitch, he doesn't even know what's coming to him. There's a bee in
Yep,
your
I know.
I saw you do that, you know. Oh, he's so good, he didn't even fall for that. But have you talked to me at speech 100? Oh, wow, he's black. Yes, that's why they call him the Ebony Warrior. That's right. Running away from a level 1, little bitch.
Babe.
Oh, like still oh god.
Love you
No,
too, babe.
please, I was winning. I was gonna win. What if I told you Durak can come tell you about the Dawn Guard
Can I
when
call
you
you Daddy?
want him to come tell you about Dawn Guard?
Sure.
What if I told you that you no longer had
Love
to
you,
run
Daddy.
and avoid the
Love you
cultists
too.
like they were gonorrhea? And what if you don't want Heartfire to begin so early at the mere level of 9? Which apparently at that point you're supposed to be the most well-known, accomplished individual in all of Skyrim.
Yes, well, now we'll see if the stories about you are true.
I certainly didn't feel like that at level 9. I felt like that at level 1. I beat the Ebony Warrior, for God's sakes. What if I don't feel like waiting till level 36 to get my Death Brand armor? What if I feel like it's unimmersive, that things are locked until a certain level when really nothing's changed? Do things
What's
when
your
you want to
last
do them. That should be the hallmark of RPGs.
Creature.
And you know what else is important?
I think I have
Actions
the
and
mother
reputation. There's a great
and the
reputation mod
password.
that has to deal with karma, making good and
Oh,
bad decisions and living
yeah.
with the consequences. But I'm
Yeah.
stupid, so I just did the faction mod. And it's actually a really simple mod. It tells you what factions you're part of and what rank you are, which holds your Thanen and which Daedric gods you're champion of. I was actually hoping we'd do more factions like the Forsworn, but then I remembered another mod off of Lover's Lab called the Skyrim Utility mod, which has essentially all of the factions you're a part of. Unfortunately, it doesn't even know what factions those factions are, and apparently the ranks can go up to 127, and you can even change them, which technically is cheating, which is not very cool. The mod also allows you to tie anybody up in a variety of bondage positions. Just thought you should know that, or if you're interested at all in that. So, now to wrap up possibly one of the longest videos I've ever made, what is the meat and potatoes of any RPG game? Meeting new people, learning about their backstory, and making the tough decisions. And what better mod to do that with than interesting NPCs? A mod that at this point has over 250 fully voiced NPCs, 25 followers, 15 variable NPCs, and 50 plus quests. The vast majority of Skyrim NPCs don't really have much to say, and there isn't really much to do with them. That is not how this mod works. Everybody here is three-dimensional, with backstory, aspirations, branching dialogue, and you definitely get the choice to be whoever you want to be when talking to them. There's probably 3 times as many options here than you'll find for vanilla NPCs. Moral dilemmas are a huge part of Bethesda roleplaying. While exploring the less popular areas of the Palace of Kings, I ran across a guy named Turin looking for something. I then promised to help him find a spell tome. Unfortunately, when we find it, it's burned. He then goes and finally outpours why he wants the spell tome and what his problem is.
You don't know what it's like to look in the mirror every day and see someone else. I want to tear off your skin because it hurts to be inside it.
That's right, he is a transgender. A transgender in Skyrim. First, transgender, very brave. Very, very brave. Now, you can be a transphobic bigot and leave his ass, only to come back and find that he's killed himself and live with the guilt of killing this poor man. Or you can give it everything you've got, help him get the spell, and transform him into a woman. If only real life were that easy, and then speak to the girl version of him.
God, it worked. Look at me, I'm...
Wait a minute, that voice sounded familiar. Hold on a second. Jeannie? Jeannie, is that you? Jeannie! No!
Well, I hate to disappoint you, but that wasn't me. That person was never supposed to be.
Wow, great voice acting. No bias, but I'd give it a 10 out of 10. She'll even teach you the spell.
Let's have a smoke and then we'll fuck at your crib.
Your sex if you wanted to
Done,
as well.
Daddy.
In another story, a hitman essentially lies to you to get you to help him murder his target. I mean, his target's a terrible person who fucked over his client, but should you kill him for lying to you, or should you just help him kill the target and then have him as a follower? It's all up to you.
Hey, Daddy, babe.
I mean, there's multiple ways
Yeah, what's up, baby?
I mean, if you decide to use your looks, you'd be transported to Shattered Plain
Do you want me to copy up something?
Meanwhile, if you chose the role of slave buyer, you'd go to a manor and take part in an auction. And of course, my favorite quest that I've played several times now, in which you have a choice between eating an affable but wicked witch.
Yeah, how about you to copy up a burger? Please. Okay, got it.
Incredibly
Daddy.
friendly, nice
Good
family
girl.
on the outside.
It's been a long time since we've had an
You
event
know
come through
who's
these
in
parts.
charge.
Surely you'll want to come in and rest
Yeah,
your weary feet.
I do
On the inside,
basically.
incredibly creepy bunch of sick psychos.
He'd stay out past curfew, but forgot to leave the rabbit's feet hanging by the railing. So one day, he came home too late, and it was his body hanging out by the railing instead.
Would you harvest this family's organs to help this cute, quirky witch?
I need organs, and I need them fresh. Real fresh. As in ripped out from the body. But don't worry, it doesn't have to be people you like. Great. I know just the family. Not nice enough that I'd feel guilty about harvesting their organs.
Or will you sabotage her recipe and kill her at the end? Honestly, you kind of have to try the mod yourself and hear the whole story. And trust me, these quests and NPCs will give you a much better role-playing experience than you'll find in vanilla Skyrim. And that is how you turn Skyrim into a true RPG. Hopefully Bethesda's listening to the modding community.
There's 100 grand up for grabs every week for the NRL's new free-to-play game, NRL Pick'em Weekly 4. Pick the winning margin from 4 nominated matchups to win a share of the weekly major prize. Head to nrl.com/pick'em now.
Alright guys, welcome to the very first episode of a brand new series that I'm going to call the greatest forgotten mods of all time in history of Skyrim. But probably not. That's way too long. I wish more females would say that to me, but they don't. Skyrim is 9 years old now, and I've reviewed probably a couple thousand mods at this point, some of them literally 9 years ago. Not to mention all of the mods that I never even got to, because beyond my couple thousand reviews, there are millions more uploaded. It's time to go back in time and commemorate and discover lost, hidden gems that have been locked away for eons, okay, many years. The passion put into a lot of these mods back in the day were legendary, and I want to rediscover them. I want to remember them. Maybe I'm a boomer and I'm old as shit and I'm trying to grasp onto the past. Sorry, that was a bit too real and very dark. These are going to be some of my personal favorite mods that I've missed, or just legendary mods that I haven't talked about very much. So if you're down for this, then you, my friend, are also legendary, and I'm definitely not just complimenting you, but I like would be very much appreciated. Also, this video is sponsored by Blade X Lord, a mobile RPG from people who worked on Final Fantasy, and you can tell by its eclectic and highly attractive art style, UI, and designs. My eyes were blessed by the fantastic artwork and Roberta. My god, Roberta. The game features exhilarating gameplay that'll require multiple fingers smashing the screen at the same time in coordination. Cinematic cutscenes draw you to the expansive story, and it really feels like you're watching a high-quality anime or animated movie. You can tell a lot of effort was put into the story and writing, and I appreciate it. And like I said, the quality is pretty much unmatched here. Everything is crisp and clean, taking advantage of the latest mobile technology. And every month, there'll be new characters, new chapters, and new seasonal costumes. So what are you waiting for? Click the link down below and start playing today. So the first episode is going to be about the mods that were released in 2011 and some 2012. Some of you weren't even born in that year. That's right, I'm talking about
I'm new ready.
I know you're watching. And the first mod we have is Open Cities. Now this is an incredibly ambitious mod during the time. Bethesda was like, look, everything is behind closed doors, and modders were like, no, they're not going to be. We are modders, the creation kit's not even out yet. Fuck you, Bethesda. Not really. We were all celebrating Bethesda because we loved the game. People were so ambitious during the time, somebody even made a that mod that literally generated the real world 3D model. I don't think that mod worked out very well, but it was very cool before it died. Now obviously back in 2011, this mod was crippling to your computer's performance. Like, you kids these days are rocking 2080s, 2070s.
My crib. Done, baby. Is it kind of incest like when, like, I'm having sex with my past wife, mom? Is it kind of incest if you do that? I don't know. If it is, who cares? I'm doing it. Let's head to her crib. My place should be down here, Daddy. Don't babe. Well, here we are. You live in a motel? Yeah, we can't afford the house. Oh, good. So where do you live at? On the top floor. Okay, let's head up there then. My place should be down here. Is it here? No, not that place. Yeah, this place. Cool. What is this? This is my parents' area. Okay. So your parents' room. Yep. And then my room. My place here. Cool. This is my room. I'm in the bathroom. This is my room. Let's do this. Done, Daddy, babe.